Good evening. Welcome, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. As I call to order our regular meeting of the Pflugerville City Council on January 27th at 7 o'clock. If you would, rise with me to join me in the U.S. Pledge, the Texas Pledge, and then remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you. Please take your seats. It now comes to the part of our meeting for public comment. I'd like to remind people that in accordance with the Texas Attorney General opinion, any public comment that is made on an item that is not on the published final agenda will only be heard by council. No formal action, discussion, deliberation, or comment will be made by City Council, and each person providing public comment will be limited to 3 minutes. I don't have any papers in front of me. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to make public comment at this time? Seeing none, we will move on to the consent agenda. Do we have, council members, do we have any items that we need pulled from the consent agenda?
Just 4G.
Just 4G. Anyone else? Anything else? Trista, would you read the consent agenda for me?
I would love to. Item 4A is approving an ordinance on second reading with a caption reading an ordinance of the City of Pflugerville, Texas, amending ordinance number 1203-15-02-24 of the City of Pflugerville, Texas, as amended by rezoning Lot 2C of the Lot 2 Pflugerville Industrial Park replat consisting of approximately 2.01 acres located along the east side of Weiss Lane, generally southeast of the Kelly Lane and Weiss Lane intersection, from Light Industrial District to General Business 1 District in the City of Pflugerville, Travis County, Texas, to be known as the PFL Weiss Investments LLC rezoning, providing for repeal of conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. 4B is approving an ordinance on second reading with a caption reading an ordinance of the City of Pflugerville, Texas, amending ordinance number 1203-15-02-24 of the City of Pflugerville, Texas, as amended by rezoning Lot 6 Warner Heights Edition, consisting of approximately 2.78 acres from Agriculture Development Reserve District to Single Family Estate District in the City of Pflugerville, Travis County, Texas, to be known as the 604 K Lane rezoning, providing for repeal of conflicting ordinances, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. 4C, approving an ordinance as amended on third reading with the caption reading an ordinance of the City of Pflugerville, Texas, amending the City of Pflugerville Code of Ordinances, Title III, Administration, Chapter 31, Departments, Boards, and Commissions to amend Sections 31.61, 31.62, 31.63 to transition the Equity Commission to an Equity Advisory Board, to amend Section 31.66, to amend board meeting requirements, to amend Section 31.76, to amend duties of the board, and to amend Section 31.65 for consistency, providing that this ordinance shall be cumulative and repealing all ordinances in conflict, providing for severability, and declaring an effective date. Item 4G has been removed from the consent agenda. All remaining items may be acted upon in a single motion.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
I have a motion from David and a second from Jonathan. Motion passes unanimously. Let's move forward then. That takes us to item 5A. Item 5A is conduct a public hearing regarding the regarding the issuance of City of Pflugerville, Texas combination tax and surplus revenue certificates of obligation series 2026A and approving an ordinance on first and final reading with a caption reading ordinance authorizing the issuance of City of Pflugerville, Texas combination tax and surplus revenue certificates of obligation series 2026A in the principal amount of $52,925,000 to fund waterworks improvements projects and award the sale of such certificates of obligation to the Texas Water Development Board. Looks like Tracy, you're on for us.
Yes.
This is the final step. I know this has come before you a couple of times, but this is the final funding required to complete this secondary Colorado raw water line. We originally applied for 72 million and the project came in below what we originally had projected. So we're not issuing the full amount that we applied for. We also received 1.1 million from a county ILA and 2.4 million for a FEMA grant that is going to provide a generator on this site. So those are some additional funding that we have for this project. If you have any questions, I do have our financial advisor with RBC, Dusty Trailer, here.
Well, I think the main question I always have is how do we get all our other projects to come in for less than anticipated? It sounds like we're doing a good job on that. Council, any questions related to these bonds?
I'd like to hear information about the interest rates.
Mr. Trailer.
Good evening, everyone. Dusty Trailer with RBC. It's great to see you guys this evening. Hope everybody's done well the past several days. As Tracy indicated, what we're doing with the A's is moving forward with the sale of $27,180,000 of certificates of obligation. I'm sorry, that's the B's.
Oh.
That's the B's. The A's, $52,925,000 of certificates of obligation from the Texas Water Development Board. The interest rate on these obligations, all in TIC, is at 2.894%. Okay, and that's by function of this being a Texas Water Development Board financing. They offer interest rates that are about 25 to 30% lower than current market. So we ran some numbers today looking at what the differential would have been in terms of dollars. And on the A's, our annual debt service is about $400,000 per year less than what it would have been had we have done these bonds in the public market. And that's looking at the straight up 52 to 52. That doesn't take into account the fact that we're issuing $20 million less than what we'd originally thought. So quite a bit of significant savings here by moving forward with this project through the Texas Water Development Board.
What did you say the percentage rate would have been if we were in the regular market today?
We probably would have been about a 4 1/4.
About 4 1/4.
4 1/4, 4.35. But the
But
differential is the differential in dollars is $400,000 per year. About $12 million over the life of the issue.
So this is due to the generosity of the state legislature. that's kind of amazing.
And this is the final debt that we're going to have on this project. Is that correct?
That's my understanding. Yes.
All right, council, any other questions on this?
Move
right.
to approve?
Not yet.
Oh, it's a,
Not yet. This is a public hearing. I would invite anyone from the public who is interested in speaking on this matter to come forward at this time. Public hearing. I have a motion from Caesar, a second from Kimberly, to close the public hearing.
Thank you, sir.
All right, the public hearing is now closed. This is also an ordinance on first and final reading. I have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
A motion from Rudy and a second from David. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Tracy and Dusty. Don't go too far because item 5B is to conduct a public hearing regarding the issuance of City of Pflugerville, Texas Combination Tax and Surplus Revenue Certificates of Obligation Series 2026B and approving an ordinance on first and final reading with the caption reading ordinance authorizing the issuance of City of Pflugerville, Texas Combination Tax and Surplus Revenue Certificates of Obligation Series 2026B in the principal amount of $27,180,000 to fund waterworks system improvements projects and awarding the sale of such certificates of obligation to the Texas Water Development Board. Tracy.
Yes, so this is too the final funding for this project, water treatment plant expansion. And this project was included on our 25 CO list at a higher amount. That was before we received the approval from the Texas Water Development Board. So we have taken some of that 25 CO funding and allocated it to other projects that did not have funding. So we were able to allocate those funds. But this is the final funding for this.
How awesome is that?
All right.
Awesome.
Council members, any questions, comments, concerns?
Yeah, Tracy, can you help me out here a little bit? I'm a little confused. Maybe it's just because I don't have math brain. Is the amount allocated and the amount approved by council previously are not the same? Am I understanding that right?
So I'm just saying that this project was listed as a project in the 2025 certificate of obligation when we sold it.
Right.
Because we had not received approval from Texas Water Development Board and the project was already under construction.
Okay.
But we only needed about 7.5 million. We originally listed it at 27 million. So we've reallocated those additional funds to other projects that did not have funding.
So the reason why it doesn't.
Is that allocation?
It's not
that
in the bond
reallocation
issuance.
doesn't require city council approval to reallocate those?
The bond that you approve is for water and wastewater infrastructure projects.
Okay,
In
so
the
it's-
bond, it does not include the project list. That's
So it's not
provided
project
as,
specific?
no.
Okay, all right, I was trying to figure out why that was moving around the way that it was. But so that the way that it's a CO bond, right?
Correct,
And that's approved by council, that doesn't require voter approval,
correct.
because it's a revenue based bond.
It's a
right.
certificate of obligation.
Right. And that's, is it, I'm sorry, is it I'm sorry, I'm not as sophisticated about this stuff as the people who do the finance stuff for a living. So this is a general revenue bond, or is this supported by the water and wastewater rates?
So it's a certificate of obligation that's secured by ad valorem tax, but we have pledged a certain amount from the utility fund. Did I say that correctly?
That's right.
Okay.
State law certificates of obligation have an ad valorem tax pledge. However, the city will be paying these back from water and sewer
A
rates.
portion of them.
portion.
So
Okay.
the 25 CO was 121 million. Only a portion of it was utility fund.
Right.
Some of it
Yes,
was
yes.
general fund.
Okay. And that's, so, none of, I want to make sure I understand. Because this came in so far under budget, because we were able to get the Water Development Board funds, we are just allocating 7 million from the 2023 CO,
25.
not from the 2025 CO. Okay. And we were originally going to be issuing a 2025 CO that was much larger. Or
We had applied more of the 2025 CO to this project.
to this
We
project.
were able to reallocate those funds to another project that didn't have funding.
Okay. And what's the other project that's got
I believe it was the Weiss Pecan Waterline project.
the Weiss Pecan Waterline project? Okay. All right. I was just curious about how those funds were moving around. I'm really thrilled that we're saving all this money with the Water Development Board. Again, through the generosity of the state. I can't even say that with a straight face.
And from the numbers perspective here, we're issuing certificates of obligation on the Bs in the amount of $27,180,000. The interest rate on this one is also very, very similar to the other. It's actually a 2.905. The other was a 2.895. So within 1 basis point of one another. And again, on this one, we also did some calculations to look at the savings that the city achieved by going through the Texas Water Development Board process. This one, it's a smaller loan. The annual savings of doing this through the water board versus public market is about $220,000 per year, less debt service. Over the life of the loan, that translates into about $6.6 million in total debt service savings over the
That's
life.
not chump change, Dusty.
Amen.
So the difference in the basis points from 2.905 versus 2.894, is that just because it's a smaller amount?
Just because it's slightly smaller amount. Remember, these bonds, though it comes from the Texas Water Development Board, each and every one of these bonds has their own each and every one of these maturities has their own individual interest rate assigned to them. Then we amortize it over the length of the loan, the 30-year period, and just kind of the weighted average maturity of each one. This one shakes out 1 basis point difference.
Okay.
So would the market rate be 4.3 or something comparative?
4.1?
Or
4.3 or so. Exactly.
All right,
That's
council
right.
members, any other questions on this item?
Excellent job, staff. Way to be proactive.
All right, this is also a public hearing. I would ask anyone from the public who's interested in speaking on this item to step forward. I'm not kidding when I say that. I really would love to hear from people. But David,
pretty bad weather today, so we don't have as many people in the.
All right, I've got a motion from David and a second from Kimberly to close the public hearing. Motion passes unanimously, and again, this is also an ordinance on first and final reading. I heard a motion from Rudy.
Second.
I heard my second from Jonathan first.
Oh.
You'll get the next one, David.
Oh, that's not bingo. What's that thing called?
Auction.
What are you doing?
Anyway,
I didn't.
either way, motion
I didn't
passes
understand
unanimously. Thank you, Dusty, for your diligence in securing us such favorable rates.
Well,
I guess with the blessing of the state of Texas.
Thank you all, and for your team, the great work that your whole team does. Makes this
All right.
happen.
That does bring us to item 6A, discuss and consider action to approve a construction contract with Patton Construction LLC in the amount of $2,820,654 for construction services associated with the street reconstruction package 1C and authorize the city manager to execute the same. I believe we've got Assistant Director of Traffic and Transportation, Danny McGee, here for us.
Good evening, thank you. Yes, this project is a continuation of the work we're doing already in the Saxony subdivision. This will be the third one of the projects we have project program for this area. So we had 3 bidders. The bids came in very close. We were surprised. $2.8 million for Patton Construction, 2.947, and 2.953 for the other 2 bidders.
All right. Do we have a map you could show us?
I don't know where to show it.
There a clicker up there for you?
You want to do it for me?
Hey, there we go. And this includes all the notification, the communication requirements to make sure that folks in the community know what's happening and can get their cars out of the way.
Yes, this is the same contractors doing the work just on the adjacent part of this area.
Okay.
So we've already gone through all that, and hopefully they have it nailed down by now.
So they're already mobilized, ready to go.
Mhm.
Starting when?
Now, when will they move dirt or asphalt?
Right now we're finishing up the current contract. It's abutting this one. They're ready to go as soon as we get your blessing, and then we get a contract in place, and then pre-construction. They're ready to go.
And the reason why we asked is because I remember when we did it for Highland Park.
Yeah.
It was literally the next day. So
Okay.
we were just
The
thinking
truck started
right there.
outside of the road.
yeah. So.
Did they sign the agreement? Start up the truck. Yeah.
That was the thinking of how we were staging them, just to
Yeah.
get one
No,
done.
you're good.
No, that's great with the. Certainly, I imagine it saves us on mobilization.
So I'm sorry if you said this before because I didn't quite hear. Is this the final package for the pavement maintenance program that we are planning for this year?
I'll let my boss handle it.
No, so this is for the construction for this year, but every year we do preservation, roadway preservation, and construction. So this is going to be this year's construction, but we also have pavement maintenance that'll be, or preservation that'll be coming back, and they're recommending award for contract for that as well.
That'll be
Okay.
the HA5.
So they're under the same project, but some is reconstruction and some is pavement.
Yes.
What did you call it?
Preservation.
Pavement, and that's the H5 preservation?
HA5 is what we've been using.
HA5.
Yeah.
Okay, because, yeah, so Springbrook, Piccadilly Ridge, South, those are the ones that are, so, okay.
It's a long time coming. Thanks, y'all.
Any other questions on this? Do you have a recommendation for us on the next slide?
Yes.
Hey, look at that.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion from Caesar and a second from Rudy.
A motion from who?
Caesar.
Can we do 4G?
Oh, is that our? Okay. If we click that button, that passes unanimously. Thank you, and I guess they'll be getting to work here shortly.
Yep. Thank you.
I do have a request to go ahead and work on the item pulled from the consent agenda, item 4G. That is approving a resolution authorizing the publication of notice of intention to issue combination tax and limited revenue certificates of obligation not to exceed 50 million for debt related to the Public Works Complex and other matters related thereto. Who's on tap for 4G?
It depends on if it's a
Oh,
question
wait.
or a...
What questions do we have?
I was just wondering why the number is set at 50 instead of 42, given that it looks like the supporting documentation looks like we're going to be spending less than 42.
Go ahead.
Why not just set the not to exceed at 42? I think looking at the supporting documentation, it's something like 41.3, something like that.
Do we have a bid for that work already?
Yeah, I wanted to verify one thing with Dusty before I came up here. So that was kind of my request to set a not to exceed amount. We're looking at needing to issue about 41 million. We can change the notice of intent with your motion to put it down to 42 or 41, but that just because we do a notice of intent for a not to exceed 50 million doesn't mean we have to issue 50 million. We can come back and issue up to that amount. So
You're not issuing.
And is there a reason why we think it might be more than the estimated 41 million?
mm-hmm. I don't have any reason to think that we're going to get a huge changeover, but I also don't know.
I mean, if there's I don't want to, unduly, kneecap you guys, but
Right.
if the real number is 41 or
Right.
42,
And we would not issue more than we needed. We were just setting the not to exceed. The 50 million was what was included in the budget document, and so we just went with that number, but we could certainly change the notice of intent.
The item tonight just simply starts the issuance process.
Right.
It starts the clock prior to which we can't issue the COs. We've got a 45-day clock that must go before we issue. So the number that gets approved by council this evening is simply, it is a not to exceed number. And we've got plenty of time between now and the time we issue these in March. We come back and get a better number, then we reduce the amount of bonds for COs that we actually issue.
okay. So
That
we're
is
right
optional.
now we're looking at 41 and change.
Right.
Let's say everything goes sideways. How high do you think the number could go? Could it go to 44?
I don't know. I would probably, if you don't want to do the 50, I would probably do a not to exceed 42.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. I move to approve it with a not to exceed 42.
42 million.
Second.
And a second from Melody. Any further discussion from council? Not usually.
And
I imagine Trista just had to add that to the
Yeah.
note, so it took a moment.
and the 50 million was added was because that was reflected in the budget that we had approved, right?
The CIP.
So let's
Yeah,
not forget when the
CIP.
budget doesn't match,
Yeah.
but that's fine.
All right, motion passes unanimously. Thank you for that, and I think that sums up everything that staff was in attendance for.
Is this the
And so that we'll move back to our regular agenda section, going to item 6B, discuss and consider action regarding councilmember information access policy. I believe we have a, excuse me,
Go to executive session if you want.
council, is there anything we want to talk about here? Or do we need a executive session to discuss this item?
Well, I was just going to say, Councilman Kaufman and I are, working on our ethics package, and that's actually one of the things that Councilman Kaufman built into his proposal. He and I are working on that, so I'd move to postpone this item until we bring forward the ethics package, which will have this as part of it.
So you're saying that you believe this is this would be encompassed within a policy that you're currently working on?
It is encompassed in the proposal that Councilman Kaufman sent to me that I'm reviewing.
I think
So that'll be part of it.
I think it's probably still worth a conversation with because I think you all updated the draft from previous, right?
No, this
no,
is,
this is the exact same?
two separate items.
No, we're talking.
No,
we're
yeah.
back to your item.
This one.
Well, this draft,
This draft is updated from what the attorney. So I'm going to say we're going to go ahead
that's
and
right.
go into executive session for a few moments to discuss this with our attorney. All
No
right.
minty.
What the hell? Y'all didn't go home?
No minty.
At least it's not 11.
Time is 8:18. We have returned from executive session. No action was taken. We will return to item, I believe this is 6B, Councilmember Information Access Request Policy. Do I have any motions from my council?
Motion to approve, what are we calling this?
Council Information Access Policy as amended?
As opposed to a resolution number? Sure.
That thing?
As amended.
All right, I've got a
Second.
motion from Rudy, a second from Caesar.
Do we need to have the,
Any further
the
discussion?
amendments, stated publicly?
You don't have to.
We'll-
You don't
we'll-
have to.
We'll clean them up.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a copy
And they
cleaned up.
won't get signed until they're all in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, you're fine. All right. Somebody hasn't been going to Hendrickson the last couple
Hey,
days,
hey,
so you
Kimberly?
better be ready to go tomorrow.
Can I get your vote? All right. All right, everyone sure?
David, vote no. There you go.
I was
Thank you.
I know.
I was so hopeful we'd have a full day of unanimous votes,
No.
but we did not.
I didn't even. I knew. I knew it was
It's the only no today. I believe, Trista, that takes us to the end of the agenda.
Wait, we're not adjourned yet.
The time is 8:19 and we are adjourned.